All right, let's dive into one of the most epic family sagas you'll ever hear. This is a high-stakes thriller about deception, destiny, and a single choice that would literally forge the future of nations. Forget simple sibling rivalry. This is a clash of wills where everything, and I mean everything, is on the line.
So, picture this. We start inside the dim, quiet tent of a patriarch. This is Isaac. He's old. His body is frail, and his eyesight is almost completely gone. He's about to make what seems like a simple final request, but it's this very act that's going to unleash a chain of events that no one can ever take back.
Now you gotta understand, this is not just about a favorite meal. Not even close. For Isaac, this blessing is the whole shebang. It's the ultimate transfer of power, of legacy, of divine favor. It's a sacred inheritance, and he's got one person in mind for it. His firstborn, his favorite son, Esau.
And that brings us to our main players, two brothers who could not be more different. First, you've got Esau. He's a wild spirit, a skilled hunter who lives and breathes the wilderness. Rough, tough, a man of action. And then there's Jacob. He's the quiet one, a thoughtful man who stays by the tents. Smooth-skinned, observant, and always thinking. The hunter versus the planner.
But here's the twist. Someone else is listening in from the shadows. It's their mother, Rebekah. She overhears Isaac's plan for Esau, and, driven by her own deep convictions, she decides she has to step in. And what she comes up with is a scheme that is as brilliant as it is incredibly dangerous.
Rebekah's plan is a masterclass in deception. It's so precise. Step 1. Jacob, go get 2 young goats. Step 2. She'll cook the meal herself, making it exactly the way Isaac loves it. Step 3. The disguise. She'll dress Jacob in Esau's clothes, using his brother's distinct scent as a weapon. And the final, critical piece, she'll cover Jacob's smooth hands and neck with the goat skins to feel like his hairy brother. This is a full-on, multi-sensory con.
Jacob, he's freaking out. And who can blame him? He gets the stakes immediately, deceiving his own father. This could go so wrong. He's worried that the blessing he's trying to get could flip and become a curse that follows him for the rest of his life.
But Rebekah's response? It's just unshakable. She doesn't even hesitate. She basically says, if there's a curse, let it be on me. I'll take the hit. She shoulders the entire spiritual risk, clearing the way for Jacob to move forward. Her resolve is absolute.
And so the stage is set. Jacob, now wearing his brother's clothes, smelling like the wild outdoors, with the rough goatskins on his arms, he steps into his father's tent. This is it, the moment of truth. You could cut the tension in that tent with a knife.
Right off the bat, Isaac's first words show he's suspicious. He might be nearly blind, but his ears work just fine. He hears that voice, and he knows something isn't right. The doubt is there from the very first second.
And there it is. The lie that changes everything. The point of no return. With those 5 words, Jacob locks himself into the deception, pushing this whole crazy plan into its final, fateful moments.
This is the absolute heart of Isaac's dilemma. It's a total sensory conflict. His ears are screaming, "This is Jacob." But when he reaches out and feels the arms, his hands are telling him, "No, this is Esau." It's a paradox that completely scrambles his judgment. What do you believe? What you hear? Or what you feel?
Now here's a really interesting little detail from the source text. It says that Isaac's ability to figure this out, his discernment, was essentially taken from him. It suggests that maybe a higher power was at play here, kind of nudging things along to make sure that despite all of Isaac's doubts, this deception was going to work.
And so the blessing is given, and it is powerful. It's a declaration of total authority. He'll be given the richness of the earth. Nations will serve him and bow down to him. He'll be lord over his own brothers. And anyone who curses him will be cursed, and anyone who blesses him will be blessed. This is way more than just good wishes. It's a destiny. The deed is done. The blessing has been transferred. Jacob manages to slip out of the tent, disappearing just moments, literally moments, before the real Esau walks in, holding the meal he hunted and prepared, totally ready to claim a prize that's already gone. I mean, you can't make this up. The timing is just unbelievable. Check out this razor-thin margin. Jacob leaves, Esau shows up almost immediately after, and the whole devastating truth starts to come apart at the seams. It couldn't have been timed more dramatically or more tragically.
When Isaac finally realizes what's happened, his reaction isn't just surprise. It's a horrifying physical response. He starts trembling uncontrollably because he understands the blessing is irrevocable. He gave away this sacred birthright, and there's no taking it back. That trembling shows you the sheer terror and regret he feels.
And then, from Esau comes this explosion of pure, raw grief. It's described as a loud and bitter cry. And in that one sound, his entire world, his identity, his future, everything he thought he was, it all just shatters in a single moment. It's the sound of absolute loss.
And that grief? It turns to rage in a heartbeat. Esau immediately connects this moment to a previous time Jacob took advantage of him. So in his mind, his brother isn't just a trickster. He's a thief who has now systematically stolen his identity and his destiny, twice.
And just like that, in the heat of one family's meltdown, two completely different futures are forged in fire. This one act of deception doesn't just split two brothers apart, it sets their descendants on separate and often clashing paths for generations to come. This is the origin story for two rival nations.
Let's just look at the contrast between their fates. It is so stark. Jacob gets dominion, the best of the earth, rule over nations, power over his own family. And Esau? With what little is left, he gets a life of struggle. He will live by his sword, he will serve his brother, and he will only find his freedom through violent rebellion. One gets a path of prosperity, the other a path of perpetual conflict. Which leaves us with this huge, lingering question at the end of it all. Was this destiny? Was this all part of some divine plan that used human weakness and ambition to get to its goal? Or was this just a story of one family's scheme, hijacking a sacred tradition for their own gain? The answer, just like the story itself, is probably a lot more complicated than we think.